Hello, hello! Welcome everyone to our, wow, it's already 10th episode of Tips for Beginners. In this episode, as I promised, we're gonna cover more practical examples of different shogi openings in form of professional games. I will show you the example of opposition, double static rook, and something we call a freestyle game. So let's look into it. So this will be the opposition example. Let's see if it follows what we've learned so far. We can see that one side decided to go for the third 5 rook, which is a swinging rook, and the other side, it seems like they're going to play a static rook. Naturally, because the rook is on the left, the king will go toward the right side, and the same will happen for this side. If the rook is on their right side, the king will go to their left side. In the meantime, please notice that both sides are developing their silvers. This is an attempt to build a balance between defensive power and the offensive side. The edge pawn push has a very special meaning. Currently we don't see its influence over the position, but in the endgame, the king will have more squares to survive on. If we didn't push this pawn, and enemy pushes this pawn, notice that the king wouldn't be able to get out, right? So in this particular case, it's important that you answer that. We can now clearly see, this is like a decisive moment of the opening, that the opponent is going for rapid game. Rapid game is when you create a less solid castle and you go, well, rapidly for the attack. So in this case, because the silver moves, it is unlikely they're going for an aguma, right? Which cancels the possibility of slow game. So now this is interesting. The silver reaches the 4th row, which is the most aggressive position for the silver. Anything further will start affecting enemy pieces. So this is where you should start being careful. And seeing that, the bottom player, they finish their castle, they want to be ready on anything that will happen. And here it comes. Yeah, the rook came to the 4 file. This is the right side 4-5 rook strategy. And at this point, at any time that the enemy wants, they can push this pawn and start attacking. And we are prepared, right? We prepared the castle. We develop our rook maybe in the meantime, but yeah, we're prepared. Our castle is here, there is no visible weakness that we would have. Enemy finishes their castle as well, this is the Elmo shape. So now the tension is reaching maximum, and after we move the silver, pawn 6-5 was pushed, and this is where the opening phase stops, yeah? This is where the fight begins, this is where the middle game starts. So let's confirm what we saw and what we know. Because they're attacking from the side, we have a castle that's strong from the side. Mino castle, yeah, checks out. Similarly here, we attack from the side, we're using Elmo castle. Everything good, we were prepared for the attack before it happened, whenever there was a possibility of it happening. And we didn't have any visible weakness, yeah? Important part is, we had those edge pawn pushed. That's gonna benefit us later. So this is the opposition. Now let's take a look at double static game, which is vertical shogi. Let's see how it differs. So both rooks stays on their initial square. And here, this is very, very obvious for me, but the idea is we don't really want them to exchange the rook pawn. So in this case, we're gonna use our bishop to protect that exchange, yeah? Very important move. Here, because we know they're playing static rook, we are moving our favorite gold to 7-8, a shape that we've explained in our first and second videos, yeah? And yes, because the rook is on this side, king goes to the other. The rook is on this side, you can see beginnings of a castle being formed. Yeah, again, developing both defense and offense in balanced manner. if they push their silver to the third row, we should have our silver close by to counter that, yeah? We have silver third row, they have silver third row. They develop in the center. We should be able to like counter it as soon as possible. In this case, we prefer to finish our castle. The king goes to 3-1. And the silver opposes silver, those are called reclining silvers. And the castle is finished. So which castle is it? Left side Mino, yeah? We talked that left side Mino is weak on the head, but it is a quick castle that allows us to attack faster. And perhaps here we're Gote, second mover. So we would like to be ready as soon as possible. Yeah, and this is why they chose this castle. Now we finish the Gangi shape. Gangi is also strong from the front, so it's a good shape to have. They decided on the more balanced position with the silver on 3-6 rather than silver 5-7. We talked about this, yeah, the new style Gangi. And because the silver moved, we don't have the option to go to right side king, so we expect the king to move somewhere along those lines. Now because Gote is ready, they will start developing their attack and only attack. We put the king to 6-8. The edge pawn is pushed, and here, yeah, we're not gonna push it back. We prefer to prioritize our rook push. It is important in double static shogi that once enemy attack starts, we are able to counterattack. If we are not able to counterattack, the enemy will be able to continuously throw punches at us. And because shogi is a game where the pieces are never run out, and the enemy has the advantage of token creation, we eventually will fall. So it is important to keep the ability to counter. It is like saying, if you overattack, it's gonna hurt you back, yeah? Knight jump. King goes more deeper towards the castle, possibly stays here, possibly enters, but remember it will walk under the bishop diagonal. The enemy took the space that they wanted on the edge. We develop our attacking side as well. This is the right side knight. Bishop goes to 4-4, really interesting move here. Bishop pawn 1-6. Rook goes up to protect the knight's weakness before the fight starts. And here we exchange the pawn. A pawn exchange happens as well. This is very typical of static rook to begin battle like this, but the main punch will be coming something like this and this. This is where the real battle begins, yeah? So there are many small details I could be explaining, but let's concentrate on what we know. We know that static castle attacks from the front, so we have castles that are strong from those sides, yeah? Like we're protecting against this bishop as well over here. Mino castle, even though weak from this side, it allowed us to develop our pieces quickly, so that was this player conscious decision. And notice that important point will be also that all pieces are in the most possible active squares. Like this knight is already jumped, yeah, this knight also have jumped. The silvers are in the center, as we talked, the fourth row, which makes them the most active, the closest to enemy pieces. And now our bishops are active as well. An exchange is going to happen, yeah? As a result, by the way, center will be able to develop their left side knight as well. And the middle game would start. Very interesting fight will continue, yeah? So this is double static. Now, what's exactly freestyle? Yeah, I didn't mention yet what a freestyle is. Freestyle is type of shogi which goes out of any standard shapes, out of any standard moves that you know. And as we follow and look at this game, we can see it's, double static rook. But few moves from now on, you will see that there's no castle, right? The silver is just sitting here. We have the sitting king here as well, sitting king, no castle, and one side decides to go in. Normally, I would recommend players like, castle before the attack and so on, but it is the nature of shogi that once you see a chance, you should go for it. So in this case, the bottom players feel confident to push this. And even though the enemy will have counter, making de facto use of the positioning of center of, not protecting this pawn, he believes that he has a stronger counterattack, which will result in his rook promoting, his king surviving, and him having a very strong attack. So in this case, you see, even though the king wasn't perfectly safe, and it was indeed a castle, this side benefited greatly from attacking early because they were able to create a dragon. You can argue that the other side created a horse, but this dragon is much scarier than this horse in this moment. So yeah, this kind of shogi exists as well. So this is why it's important, before the attack, before any possibility of attack, that you're ready for the enemy engagement, So in the next video, I actually have questions for you guys. Whenever you would like to see some opening traps or opening joseki, which is like standard openings moves that allow you de facto to avoid those traps, or would you like to immediately jump to the middle game, learn how to judge the middle game position, maybe learn some proverbs? Please tell me in the comments what you're expecting to see next, what would you like. It would help me to decide the topic. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.